Hello! What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Euro 2021 video. Although the tournament's over, still have a bit of stuff to discuss. In the last video, I went over my team of the tournament, but in this video, I'm going to be doing the exact opposite. I'm going to be making a team that just did not deliver this summer for Euro 2020. I'm going to be creating my own starting 11 of who I believe just did not excel this tournament. But as always, before we get into this video, let's take a look at our sponsor, OneFootball. OneFootball is one of the best apps which keeps you up to date with nearly every single competition in football, but it's going to serve you very well for Euro 2020. Instead of having to Google search everything over and over again, everything's right there on the app, easy to access and view. The app's got you covered on the schedules, the tables, the latest news, and you can even select your favorite teams you wish to receive extra notifications for. You also can look at the stats for each player that's playing in Euro 2020, so you can stay up to date with who's best for your fantasy team and all that. Guys, I highly recommend you download this app. It's very convenient, easy to use, completely free, so go check it out. Might as well. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now, I already know this video has a high chance of getting a lot of hate. Guys, before we get into this team, keep in mind, these are just a set of players of what I believe did not prove their worth this summer. Obviously, decent of them have had fantastic careers or are having fantastic careers. Just this summer, in my opinion, they did not perform. But if you have any disagreements with me, I'd love to hear what you guys think. We're going to be going with the 5-2-2-1 formation. The reason why I'm going with 5 in the back is because it's easier to pick defenders for this worst 11 video. I honestly had a lot of trouble picking midfielders for this team. Now let's obviously start off with the goalkeeper. I saw a lot of people were putting Manuel Neuer as their choice for their worst 11, but I don't think he necessarily deserves it. Obviously, he was not performing at his full potential, but still, I wouldn't say he was one of the worst keepers in the tournament. I put Szczesny. Now, Poland honestly did not have a lot of shots on target faced on them, and they still conceded a lot of goals. Szczesny was also the first goalkeeper in the whole entire Euro competition to get an own goal scored on him. Obviously, there were a lot of own goals throughout the tournament, and he wasn't the only keeper to make this kind of mistake. But he was the first, and his form really did not follow. Poland did not get out of the group stages. It was a bit disappointing for them. And yeah, like I said, not a lot of shots on target were faced on this side, and they still conceded a lot of goals. For example, Sweden only had 4 shots on target, and they conceded 3 goals that match. Obviously, the defense is to blame as well, but yeah, Szczesny obviously did not really deliver. And he's obviously very well known and considered one of the better keepers in the world, so yeah, this is a huge disappointment for him. Now for the center backs, I'm going to put 2 in at the same time. I put in Soyuncu and Demiral. Now, we obviously know Turkey have had such a disappointing Euro competition. And something I always praised Turkey for before the Euro competition started is that they have excellent center backs. 8 goals were conceded on Turkey in this tournament. They didn't get out of the group stage, so they only played 3 matches, 8 goals. I mean, that's not good. Not to mention, Demiral scored an own goal in the opening match. I thought Turkey's strong suit would be their defense, and I was totally wrong. In my opinion, they deserve to be in this spot. No hate to them. Hopefully, they have great seasons this year. Now, for the other center back role, I have gone for De Ligt. De Ligt is obviously a youngster who has had an incredible career so far. And despite Van Dijk's injury for the Netherlands squad, people still had high hopes because they had De Vrij and De Ligt as options. But De Ligt obviously, in that Czech Republic match, he did not impress with that red card, definitely making them lose momentum after that, where Czech Republic scored their goals after that. He even said himself he is the one to blame for all of this. I mean, it's not 100% true, but still, definitely a very disappointing Euro run. He did alright in the group stage, but people were not expecting Netherlands to get out in the round of 16s, and especially in that style, it was a huge loss for them, so I had to put De Ligt in this list. Now for the fullback, starting off in the right wing back position, I've gone for Mario Fernandes. Russia obviously grabbed 1 win against Finland, but it was still only 1-0. They got destroyed by Denmark and Belgium. Obviously, they weren't looking like the favorites in that group, but I still thought that Russia had it in them to possibly get some upsets or at least have some close matches. The defense did not pull through, and Mario Fernandes is one of their main defenders that most people know. None of the Russian defenders really pulled through throughout the tournament, and obviously he's one of their most well-known ones. And yeah, he didn't necessarily produce either, so had to put him in this team. Next up for left back, still technically a right back, but I just had to switch him to the left wing back spot. We've gone for Neco Williams. And obviously this guy's very young. I wasn't expecting him to be world class. He didn't even play that much in the Euros, but whenever he was on, he was just really not good at all. When he was brought on against Denmark, he made a horrible mistake, costing a goal. Obviously, since this guy plays for Liverpool, a lot of eyes were on him as he's a promising youngster. So yeah, his bad performance was very noticeable in this competition. Now let's move on to the midfielders. The first one I'm going for, our second Polish player on this team, Krychowiak. Now this guy only played 2 matches out of the 3 in the group stages because he got a red card against Slovakia in their opening match. Slovakia were huge underdogs in this group, and it was a huge blow for him as he got sent off because Slovakia scored shortly after. Definitely changed the momentum of the game, and in the match he was back, he got a yellow card and was subbed off. He wasn't necessarily impressive throughout this tournament. Obviously he doesn't play in the top 5 leagues anymore, but people still consider him to be an underrated player. And he really did not deliver this tournament, so I think he was one of Poland's biggest problems. Now for the other center mid, I've gone for Bruno Fernandes, our second Fernandes on this team. This guy's absolutely lethal for Manchester United, but he was not impressive at all this tournament. Portugal are filled with talent. He's one of the more well-known players in Portugal, obviously apart from Cristiano Ronaldo, and he just felt invisible the whole time. I expected a lot more for him. I feel like he could have made the difference many times, and he didn't. Very underwhelming this tournament. A lot of other Portugal players played a lot better than him. He could have pulled his weight a little bit more, and I know he does very well for Manchester United, so I don't think this is necessarily a step down in his career. He'll bounce back for sure, but this summer, very underwhelming from Bruno Fernandes. Now let's start with the attack. Let's start with the wingers first. I mean, these guys are technically strikers as well, but first one I've gone for Ante Rebic. Rebic has had overall a good season at AC Milan. Obviously had his few dips, but he had many matches where he was very in form. And in the last World Cup for Croatia, he made his stance as well. I'll never forget his goal against Argentina, for example. But in this tournament, he missed many clinical chances, and he was not impressive at all. A lot of people are saying that Orsic should have started for him in the Spain match because he didn't really deliver there. He kind of looked okay at the beginning, but still, great runs and everything, but couldn't do anything else. I still love this guy, but yeah, I think he deserves to be on this team. Now for the other winger, I've gone for Kylian Mbappe. Feels a bit harsh to put him on this team. He still got an assist against Switzerland, but just like Rebic, he really could not produce the finishing. He got unlucky in some of the matches in the group stages, to be fair. I remember he got one offside goal, but everybody expected a lot more from this guy as he's one of the future stars who could potentially take over that best in the world spot, and he really didn't live up to the hype, obviously missing the penalty against Switzerland, which costed France to get out of the competition very early on. Feels a bit harsh. Obviously he is a world-class player, but had to put him in this team. And then finally, for that striker position, I've gone for Burak Yilmaz, our third Turkish player. The hype was there for this guy, just like the Turkish defense. I mean, he had a brilliant performance against Netherlands in the World Cup qualifiers and Norway. Once Turkey had that kind of performance, all eyes were on them for this tournament, and they were honestly the most disappointing team out of the bunch. He didn't even score a single goal in the tournament. Turkey only managed to get 1 goal throughout the whole thing, and it wasn't him. So yeah, I had to put Burak Yilmaz on this list. I mean, he's had an incredible year, so a lot of people were expecting a lot from him. Obviously, in Ligue 1, him winning the league, he was a crucial part for that team, but he couldn't deliver in Euro 2020. So yeah, this is my worst Euro 2020 11. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who would you guys put in your worst 11? There's obviously a few players who I didn't mention that didn't necessarily have impressive tournaments either, but this is my selection. Thank you all for making it to the end. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all very soon. Lock with Notch.